What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another daily drop here on TarHeelIllustrated.com. I'm THI publisher Andrew Jones, and the topic today, North Carolina football. The Tar Heels begin practice for the 2024 season Monday. It's here, July 29th. We are a stone's throw away from the first practice, 7 p.m. THI, we will be there. We'll have, I believe, 4 people at Carolina's first practice. The Tar Heels open the season August 29 at Minnesota. Quick reminder, you can be a Carolina Insider too for just $8.33 a month. I was driving home from Charlotte Thursday evening. I was starving, pulled in to get something to eat. It's like 2 months of THI just to get something to eat. I don't do the fries, so it's unbelievable. A sandwich and a drink, it's like $15. Jacob and I used to joke, hey, it's almost the price of a drive-through meal. Not anymore. It's way past that. Just $8.33 a month to get access to everything that we do. Our board content's unbelievable. And the dialogue, the fans on our board, the discussion, you want to be a part of that community. You want to hang out with Carolina fans that know what they're talking about. That alone is worth the price of membership to Tar Heel Illustrated. Okay, the topic is about Max Johnson and Conner Harrell. I spent some time with them on Thursday. A bunch of us in the media did. They were available in the breakout room, and I thought it was interesting that they sat next to each other. I've never seen 2 players sit next to each other like that in a breakout room when the others were by themselves. It made sense. I get it. They are battling for this job. I do believe it's a legitimate battle. I know there's some folks out there that think Conner's got it in the bag because he's more athletic, in their opinion. There are others out there that believe that Max has got it in the bag because he's thrown 788 passes in the SEC, he has 9 300-yard games. He has a 435-yard game against Ole Miss. He's the older guy. He never would have come to Chapel Hill if he wasn't promised a starting job. That's what some people think as well. I think it's a battle. I think it's a legitimate battle. I think that the staff will have some things drawn up that both can do. I would not be surprised to see packages, let's say for Conner, if Max is the starter. Remember, go back to 2019, Jace Ruder had some packages. Sam Howell was a starter, but Jace had some packages. He got hurt running the ball in one of those packages against Wake Forest. Just a couple with the third game of the season. So, and Mac has a history of playing 2 quarterbacks. He's done it a lot with some really good teams. So it would not be a surprise if the two of these 2 guys end up playing in the same game some. I do think eventually one has to sort out over the other. It's just common sense. And I think for the most part, even though Mac has history with 2 quarterbacks, I think it's best moving forward. I have in my mind who I think it'll be, but I'm going to wait until we get into fall camp. I'll be at practice on Monday. We'll have another couple of practices, I believe, that we can see as well before the Tar Heels take the field in Minnesota. So I'm going to wait. I want to see more. I want to hear more before I make any kind of projection on who I believe will take the first snap up in Minneapolis. That said, I do think this is a legit battle right now. I think both of these guys have some things that you can win with. So I don't think we're dealing with a situation here where Carolina doesn't have a quarterback. I think we're dealing with a situation here where at the very minimum, Carolina probably has an average quarterback at the minimum. What I'm saying is that's the base you're working with, an average quarterback. Conner Harrell could throw the deep ball. Conner Harrell can run the ball. You can run a lot of delayed draws with him. How well does he throw the stuff over the middle? I think that remains to be seen. When you ask people around the program, some of the things that jump out immediately about Conner, they don't say the mid-range game. Now, I asked both Max and Conner to give an evaluation of the other. For example, I said, if you're a scout or you're a defensive coordinator for the opponent, what are the first 2 things you got to try to take away? Well, Conner said about Max, the deep ball and his ability to sit back there and pick apart defenses just all around the field. Max said about Conner, the deep ball and that quarterback draw. his ability to go up the gut and turn that into big gains. So there are some differences and there are some similarities. They do both throw a pretty good deep ball. I want to see more of that than I did in the spring. I want to see more accuracy with the outs, the stuff thrown wide than I did in the spring. But I saw a small sample size, so it wasn't too much. I'm not going to base much on that now. I'm going to base more of what I think on what we see moving forward. One of the things I do like about this competition is I think that people will make fun of quarterbacks saying we're buddies, we're friends, we get along when they're in a quarterback competition. And I think sometimes it's a little manufactured, but I think this is pretty legit because you don't have an incumbent, so to speak. I know Connor started the bowl game, but he's not really the incumbent. And you have a guy, Max, who was at LSU and Texas A&M, but he was at both places when they were having really down chaotic periods. And A&M was completely chaotic last year. So he's still trying to figure out who he is as a quarterback. He wants a stable situation. Connor's trying to figure out who he is as a quarterback moving upward. So there is, I would think, a measure of uncertainty with both, no matter how confident they are. So they're competing with themselves as much as they are the other guy. They're trying to get better and trying to figure out who they are as quarterbacks and how they best fit and what works most for them, and trying to fix things that film has told them you need to fix. So because of that, I believe them when they say they get along well. Because of that, I believe them that when one of them goes through a rep and they go back and ask the other one, what did I do wrong? That Connor will tell Max, that Max will tell Connor. And I think that's healthy. And I also don't think this is a situation, at least as of yet, where you have a locker room that's close to being divided or is divided. I don't see that at all. I see a group where there's a lot of dudes that want to win. I see a group where there's, on the offensive line, guys are still jockeying out. Max said Thursday they got 9 they think that might start or certainly be in the rotation. And you've got really good tight ends, really good wide receivers, and an All-America running back. So you've got a lot of good parts around them. These are position groups that know they can help the quarterbacks, make the quarterbacks look pretty good. It's not like either one of them are going to be throwing to a very green receiver unit or a very green tight end unit. There's a lot of stuff around them that will help both get comfortable in the offense and maybe not have as many demands placed on them. So it begins Monday night. Going to watch a lot of the quarterbacks. Got to watch a lot of the quarterbacks. That's always what people want. But there are a lot of other position battles and rotation jockeying that's going to take place. This is going to be one of the most interesting fall camps I've ever covered. And I've been doing this a long time. And there have been some really interesting fall camps in the past. But this one is going to be very interesting. And it begins at quarterback. And the reason I didn't throw Jacoby Criswell in here is because he was not at ACC kickoff media days. And I believe this is a 2-man race. It could be surprised that Jacoby kind of jumps into it. But I believe right now this is a competition between these 2 guys. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to win this competition? You think it's going to be Max or you think it's going to be Connor? Will they split? Let us know what you think. Make sure you subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you get updates every time we upload a video, which now that fall camp is here, it's going to be constantly, plus interviews with players and Mac and coordinators and stuff. And share it with your Carolina friends. Tell them we're here, man. Tell them we are here. We need more Carolina fans to be involved with what we are doing so we can get feedback. The more different Carolina fans we hear from, the better, because we love to know what people's opinions are. Plus, it's just fun. It's fun to talk about all this stuff. I'm AJ, and I'll see you later.